Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the Rendezvous Podcast. I'm here, as always, with Bangovic and Bodok. How are you fine gentlemen today?
If I say I'm fine, I would be lying because this episode should have started 2 hours ago. But now we are here, but I'm happy to be with you guys, so everything is great.
Yay! And Bo, are you on your usual sad
Yes, he's
sad
always
mood?
sad.
Actually, I'm not sad.
Why?
You're not sad.
Broke up with my girlfriend. All good.
And you're not sad? What the fuck is going on?
We want a match in Polaris.
I mean,
The one week he's not
vacation.
sad. The 1 week he's not sad is the week that he broke up with his girlfriend. That is crazy. That is crazy. Polaris means everything to this man.
I swear.
For
Just
me
say-
now,
just
it's
take it
going to
over.
be gym, Polaris, exams, repeat. No podcast, no nothing.
Why not
No
podcast?
Grind. Because I
See
put
you.
gym in there.
Oh,
Right,
I see,
okay.
I see.
So
Okay.
now I'm actually going to the gym every single time we're supposed to have a podcast. So basically,
Hulk
Command
dork.
is not the only one getting late.
Yeah, my
Amazing.
bad. This was my fault. This was entirely my fault. I was playing
100%.
Wii Sports Golf.
No
Um,
way.
Glad to hear it was for
It's
that.
a long story.
Aw.
But yeah, but
Shall
we're
we
here now.
start? Yeah,
We've made it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And the first thing on the list today is the new skins that just got unveiled. And they are curiously similar to Counter-Strike.
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll the clip in the
Um,
background.
They've got
Counter-Strike.
different. I mean, they look similar to realistic guns, and they've got different appearances on attack and defense. So that's their kind of dynamic. Bangovic has muted himself. I'm hoping he knows that he's done that.
No, I didn't.
That was smooth. That was smooth.
Yeah,
That was smooth.
Oh, that was smooth.
I mean, okay. This is definitely this is basically Riot's solution to, hey, CS2 just came out. Let's just release a skin that looks a lot like weapons in Counter-Strike. Because what can Valve do? Because like they literally just stole the weapon designs from real life. So it's
Stole
not
them
really
from real
stealing.
life. Also known as base them on real life things.
Yeah.
Nah, they just found it's like those people in War Thunder who have stolen classified information about certain tanks and sent them over to the developers because
This is
some
like
things weren't
such
correct.
a specific reference to
Yeah,
War
Wait, you
Thunder.
haven't seen that?
No, man.
No, and I never
That
will.
was amazing, dude.
Oh my
Now the
God.
same thing has happened, but in Minecraft, like a fucking Minecraft server,
This is so
leaked,
specific.
leaked strategies from Ukrainian soldiers or something
What the
like
fuck?
that.
Okay, I did see
Yeah.
about that. To be fair,
Yeah,
I did see
Really?
about that.
That's a thing? That actually happened?
Yeah. Before that was the War Thunder thing where people just leaked sensitive information about tanks and blueprints and all of that because they thought that the tanks weren't realistic in the game.
Okay, so the new skins, they look quite cool. And I might get them. We'll see. I like the attacker defender thing. I hope that can happen for other skins as well.
Yeah, me too. I actually think it's a good addition to the game. The only thing I'm wondering is how long have they been ready? Because it doesn't seem like a skin line there.
Okay.
They just spontaneously released. It looks like a thing which literally we're gonna drop that as soon as there's a new Counter-Strike patch or a big thing happening. But honestly, I like the AK. I waited for an AK looking skin. I really like the infantry bundle as well. We already have the infantry operator and stuff like that. I think Kankan is using that actually quite frequently. And the attack sided, and defense sided, that the skins they just change a little bit depending on the side you play. I think it's a nice twist, and I hope we see that on future skins as well in a more I think how can you say just. Because right now, just the skin, just invert the color, right? So
imagine a oh shit! I just dropped my bottle. Anyways, imagine a skin that basically, for example, Gaia's Vengeance 2.0, where basically one side is very fantasy focused and the other side is very sci-fi focused.
Why would that be Gaia's Vengeance though?
Because it's a tree. You can turn the tree.
Oh,
your
bro
thought
is
process.
boomed. Bro is he's off his rocker.
It's a tree.
Oh my god, bro, because it's tree. Because it's tree. I don't even know what to say.
I like that concept of like the fantasy sci-fi thing, but
Yeah.
I don't know why Gaia's Vengeance came
Because
into it.
it's tree, apparently.
Because it's tree.
Hashtag
no, it would
because
be
it's
cool,
tree in
though.
the comments. Thank you. Like, no,
Save the trees, bro. Save the trees.
I feel like there's no reason for Riot to like not give us all the skin customization stuff. Like I would
Mhm.
want to put together stuff for different agents. Like, you know, if I'm playing the Killjoy or the Cypher, I might want the Oni Phantom or the
Yeah.
Jet. But if I'm playing, you know, the Sova, I might want the Recon Phantom. So, you know, that kind of thing. That would be cool to do.
That
But
would be
this is a
great.
step in that kind of direction. Which I
Yeah,
think
like
is cool.
especially when I play like Viper or like I don't know, like the knife skin, like having the green knife from
Yeah.
the new bundle, like not new bundle, but from the lock-in knife in green for the Viper, and then you have the
That
purple
would be
one for
nice.
Astra and the blue one for Jet. I don't know. I love that type of thing. So that would be cool. And yeah, the new skin bundle kind of leans towards the customization in that way.
I mean,
so.
it's kind of like what they did with Overwatch, where you can now just switch skins like in the middle of the game.
Oh, really?
So it would be actually pretty fun to just have like you could basically like every single half you could basically just see if you could switch up like the weapon skins.
But the only thing is, it's like one round is going to be like, oh, can I have the Reaver Vandal? And the next round is like, oh, can you switch to the Glitch Pop? Can I have the Glitch Pop Vandal? Every
Bro.
round they're going to want a different skin.
Yeah. No, that would be too much. But I like it.
but
Do
yeah.
you guys think it's gonna be full price, or do you think like there's gonna be like 17 euros to like 11? Like, what is the price?
It doesn't.
for
It
that?
doesn't seem like it has a lot of upgrades.
Yeah.
I think
think
the
it will be, like-
Bulldog is a new model, but
It's a FAMAS, yeah.
yeah.
I would
think
be
it'll-
disappointed.
It'll be
if-
like, it won't be full price. I don't think it will be
Yeah.
like I don't know how much it is in euros, but it's £20 for like the, I don't know, the Glitch Pop, for example, like that tier of skins. I think it'll be the one below that.
Yeah.
But even that would be a bit high considering. I mean, you got the attack sided and defense sided change in the variants, kind of. But like, despite that,
if
it always
has,
is
like,
the same thing.
Kill banner with like the "Easy for Ends" song, it would be It would be a banger.
I mean,
Just
they
like
could literally.
every
I think they
single
could
time.
literally make it like £50. People still buy it. But
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure
the
they
thing.
won't.
And it's like "Easy for Ends." That's like the
Bo
national.
he's just going off. He is
Counter-Strike
just,
song. Bro,
yeah.
I am off my meds.
He's off the goop
Oh, yeah,
today.
yeah. And why? Because tree.
Because
It's
tree.
in my head.
That's true. That is true. Okay, I think not much more to say about that. It
No.
looks like an interesting bundle, but
look very cool.
should be good.
Very
Cool.
cool. Wait, fuck. This way. Very cool.
Yeah, cool. Okay, next thing is the game changers qualifiers. There were NA qualifiers, there were EU, Brazil, all the regions. Well,
Yeah.
all of them or most of them had game changers qualifiers this week. And the viewership for them has been really insane. We talked about the DSG game changers roster last week. They got announced and they played. Viewership was great for them.
F a chat. F a
Yeah,
chat for those.
Yeah,
Yeah.
been released unfortunately.
Yeah, that's really
Supreme Leader
that's okay.
Toast.
Okay. I gotta go on a rant right here because that's just absolutely unacceptable. Unacceptable from Toast. Just dropping these like game changers players who have like so much different problems like rent and all of that, and like oh man,
God.
it's
Whatever
seriously,
will they do? Just
what
terrible.
will they do? What will they do?
But in all
Like,
seriousness,
how?
it's really good to see lots of eyes on game changers, and there were lots, even in the regions that, not just NA. You know, it was over 100k viewers in NA, and I think there was a screenshot over 100k viewers in Brazil as well.
Yeah, I got it here. Like the liquid between liquid and loud, 105,000 for the grand final.
EMEA also had some great viewership because
Yeah, with
of
Carmine Core.
Yeah. And who else? Yeah, I think like Karma Corp was like carrying a lot of the viewership.
But that's okay though.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
when other orgs see the viewership and the product that can come from that, then they'll be interested. You know, it's really difficult to run a league where you have no orgs,
Yeah.
as some of us know. So you know, it's good for the scene, and it shows like Team Liquid, Brazil, and Loud, that grand final in Brazil. You know, it's really promising for the scene. So all dubs all around, I'd say, for game changers. More eyes on it, really good. I wonder if they will change the amount of teams going to the LAN or anything about it.
I don't
Um,
think they will change a lot of it. If
Yeah.
it's one change, it will definitely be the location.
yeah, just more
Um,
seats
no,
kind of thing.
just the location. Just switch it up. Go over to
Oh,
like
okay.
the American LCS scene or something like that. Just go over somewhere else because of
Yeah.
the rampant problems that might affect the players.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean the one that I was like keeping the most eyes on was the EMEA Game Changers
Mhm.
series, where we have a bunch of interesting teams qualifying, like Ascend Rising, who were already like upcoming, who was already like an upcoming roster last year. Um, Definitely look like a team that might be able to win it all. They have been looking like dominant in most of their matches, like against Istanbul Wildcats. They had it was like 13-4, 13-5, and it's just this is a team that you really got to watch out for. The same thing, like surprisingly, about Team Falcons. Like Team Falcons, they came out of nowhere with their like game changers roster, and they gave some amazing results, even beating a like consistent team like Alliance Coven. So there is definitely some
Yeah, I
really
mean, in these
assets.
in these group stages, you've got 16 teams, 15 of them are signed by an org, and you've got, these are big names, G2, Guild, Na'Vi, NIP, Ascend, Falcons, Cathay, BBL, and of course Carmine Corps as well, and
Yeah.
Focus. So
Yeah.
it's really good to see, and I'm sure it's just gonna, keep
Yeah.
expanding, and that means the talent will go up, and that's the whole point of game changers, isn't it?
Mhm.
I got bets on that like Fnatic is going to sign the Untap roster or it's gonna be big. One of those two.
Mm.
Because
Would be
like there's
great.
some German players on Untapped, so I could definitely see big going with them. And yeah, one of the more surprising like teams who did not get through was Excel. They have
Mhm.
been like working really hard to like build a consistent game changers roster, even like acquiring the former guild head coach. Um,
Oh
so
yeah.
it was a little bit surprising to see them not even qualifying, not even in the LCQ. So they
Wow. Yeah,
definitely
that's an
have
upset.
some things to work with. The Karma Corp roster, they are also through, so it's gonna be good viewership for a bunch of matches and some pretty good like coverage. Um and yeah, also like Focus, their female roster which was set up like not that long ago.
Mhm.
They also qualified, so that will also like help out amazingly with viewership. We already saw like how much viewership Focus brings to Polaris, so definitely some great teams to have in this. Now, of
And
course, you have
lots of nationalities as well. I mean,
yeah.
I've
Oh
seen
yeah,
Yeah.
Swedish, German,
this is
Scottish player
also
even.
the furthest that any full Spanish roster has gotten in Valorant
Oh,
ever.
really?
So that tells a lot about like the main VCT like Spanish teams, to be honest. But
But yeah, I
really
mean, you've
good
got
from Kaze
full
Hadra.
full Spanish team, full Turkish teams. You've got teams from Saudi Arabia, Swedish teams, a Scottish player here, which I don't think there's any Scottish players in the main VCT, not that I've seen.
Is there?
I don't think
Um,
so.
so that's really cool to see.
But
Yeah.
generally, I think like it looks really good for the game changer scene. Just generally, like a lot of orgs involved, good viewership, another championship at the end of the year. Like I like it right now.
What's not to love? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
going
it's
up.
actually very promising. And honestly, I loved watching the Game Changers champions last year. It was amazing. The
Yeah.
documentary
Yeah.
was amazing. The games actually have like very good quality. So I'm looking forward to those. And I would be in and down for Riot to like get more tournaments, bigger tournaments for the Game Changers in the future. I mean, of
Yeah.
course, it's
Yeah,
gotta
But
definitely.
we
grow. It
also
gotta
saw
grow. But
we saw like the explanation from Foria about like the fact that they don't want game changes to be this big because they want it to be like
They
a
want
way
people to
for
have motivation to go into franchise.
yeah
They
going
want,
to champions. Like
Yeah,
Game Changers
I
is
see.
not to substitute the main VCT circuit. It's just a way to for Game Changers players to improve to in the future be able to reach that level.
which I think
Yeah.
it is helping people do.
Yes.
You know, the bigger it becomes, you have a bigger talent pool, people get better.
Yeah. It just
Mhm.
sucks
you know.
that they get the smaller events. And that's kind of okay. Here's the thing the problem that I have with Riot a lot of times, and that's basically
Here he goes.
we do not have many LANs. We are absolute next level onliners. I need LANs.
Yeah.
I was
mean,
watching
okay.
the Insomnia tournament, and holy shit, people had so much fun, and I just missed that. I just really missed that.
But you mean
Yeah.
throughout all all the tiers in terms of because
Yeah,
franchise
I
teams
just
are playing LAN week in week out now. The playoffs are
yeah,
everything's
but
on
it
LAN, but
kinda yeah, it kind of feels too too fake, you could say. It's a very big
doesn't have
production and
it
everything.
doesn't have the grassroots esports
Yeah.
feel anymore.
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, I can just turn up and this. But there's a lot of aspects of grassroots esports that aren't as good. But there is, you almost want to capture that feeling, but then also have very good production. So it's a tight balance to walk.
Diabetes hitting hard, that's for sure.
But I think it would
Goddamn.
be good to have more regional lands.
Yeah, I agree. I think that
'Cause
should be
I
the
think
case.
Vanity was saying that he wants almost a difference between the Valorant schedule and a midpoint between the Valorant schedule and the CS schedule, where CS you were playing once every, the most break you got was a 2-week break or a 3-week break somewhere
Yeah.
in the year,
It's
but in Valorant obviously it can be months without playing. So
CS has too much and Valorant has too little. That's the kind of thing that I always think about.
Even though as far as I know, and I can't go too much into details, but next year gonna look a bit different. More Valorant, I would say, for tier 1. So I'm not sure how it's gonna look. More Valorant, less off season in a way. So which makes sense because right now we have one Masters, one Split, one LCQ, which is kind of you make entire teams and organizations move to another country to play 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Doesn't
I can also
justify
say that
the investment.
Ascension is gonna be very cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, me too. But I think generally,
I'm excited. Just
I think
in
there's
general.
Wait, we got sidetracked here.
We did.
We went from Game Changers to LANs and all of that.
True.
But let's okay. There's also where is it? The NA qualifiers. There it is. Okay, so Evil Geniuses actually look pretty good.
I didn't manage to catch lots of it. I did see the scores.
They acquired some of the better players from the old Complexity Game Changers roster, like Keensey and I believe it's Power Pixel. So those two are massive pickups for EG, and they have been showing some amazing consistency.
Yeah, and also
So
I saw the that Ludwig has picked up the CLG Red team, or at least he's paying their
momentarily.
kind of salary through this
That's kind of
tournament, which I think is
such a cool move.
Yeah, great move from him, and
Yeah.
hopefully will drive even more viewership
Hopefully.
to this tournament. It's given me the old NA Challengers vibes, where you have 8 teams or whatever it is that go through, and it should be good to see. And version 1, hopefully they don't just destroy everybody, but it would also be interesting.
It seems very strange to not have the previous teams here. Not seeing Cloud9 here just feels weird. I don't know what it is. It's just sad.
I know.
But
They can sign Ye with all the money they've got from it.
woo. Bro, the death stare right there.
Yeah. Rightfully
Should we
so?
actually put some pick'ems for the Game Changes North America series? Because we could set up pick'ems here.
Can we do that?
We could do very quickly.
Okay.
Version 1, and version 1. That's what I'm gonna go with.
We're good to go.
I'm going to say version 1.
Okay.
Over FaZe Clan Game Changers. Most Moigles.
Yeah.
They've already beaten Complexity,
Moist
haven't they?
Moguls, yeah,
So I'll go with
they
them.
definitely could beat Complexity, and I'd actually say that Red might be able to beat version 1. Because they have been looking hella consistent.
Wait.
And the thing about version 1, I have seen like some goofy situations here and there.
I feel
So
like they'll turn up for the playoffs though.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I the thing that I think is like they will do a lower bracket run. That's how
Right.
I imagine version 1 will go.
100 Thieves playing Gecko, by the way. Just thought I'd put that on there.
Who's playing Gecko?
GG.
100 Thieves.
Yeah, no,
100 Thieves
which
in that
player?
match.
Which player?
Asuna.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Actually, also
What is Cryo playing? On which map?
Jet.
Oh,
I don't
thank
know
God.
which map it
I
is.
thank
I
you.
think
I
it's
thank you. I thank you,
Haven.
God.
Haven. Gecko on Haven. We'll see. Anyway.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Shopify versus Accent?
Shopify, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Gotta get them.
EG,
EG winning against Misfits?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You want to go with
I'd
the
actually
top or
say EG win versus Shopify.
All right.
Bit of a
What do you
hot
think,
take,
Aman?
but I'll go with it.
All right. Let's do it.
Shopify has been on a downward spiral, so I just follow the curse.
Every time a team loses, Bo thinks they're like
Every
on a
single time
downward
they get
track.
no. Like the thing is, every single time they get second in big events, they lose the next one, and we haven't seen them
The second place
since
curse.
championship.
Seems like it.
So that's what I'm saying.
What? So that gives us. I can't see the screen, so
So
that
it's
gives us
EG.
Shopify and
Yeah, I
sorry,
mean,
EG and Moist Moguls in the upper final.
do we vote Moist over version 1?
I'd say there's an upset there. There's
Yeah,
a
let's go with that.
potential.
All right. So Moist going into the upper final, leaving off with Moist versus EG in the upper finals. Who's making it to the grand?
EG probably.
Oh. Yeah, EG.
All right. So let's start with the lower brackets. Face versus Complexity.
Complexity, got it. Yes.
Xset versus Misfits.
Xset.
I haven't watched most of those teams. I gotta be honest. I'm so sorry. Shopify versus Complexity and the lower round 2.
I'll go Shopify. I'm not going to doubt a team who came second
Shopify.
at
Yeah, I agree.
international tournament.
Xset. Version 1.
Yeah, I think so.
Version 1.
Yeah,
and
me
then
too.
Version 1.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like, I think Moist can like make the upset, but I don't think they like if version 1 goes into the lower finals against Moist. I see.
Fluorescent is going demon mode.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
always does.
yeah,
Absolutely devouring people.
and also like I think that version 1 will have the benefit in the rematch, kind of like learning from the mistakes and being able to make use of that and like punish all the mistakes they did in the second game. Grand final, EG versus version 1.
I'll go
Who's gonna
version
make
The
one.
evil geniuses are not gonna win that. It's gonna be version 1.
Why? Because trees. Okay.
Exactly.
True.
All right, so we
Because
got
true.
them. I'm just gonna
There it
zoom
is. There's
out.
our
Yeah.
predictions. They will no doubt be wrong, but
No way. They're
We
gonna be
definitely
wrong.
like.
We never been wrong with any of our
jinxed
prep.
somebody. Flora is gonna see this and just absolutely go ham on us.
yeah, probably.
Definitely.
Let it be known that Bo picks Moist Moguls to win that.
Gladly.
All right.
All right.
Does that sum up the game changers?
I think so.
There's also Game Changers Latam, but I haven't checked in a lot on it. So
Yeah, I'll
I
be
am
honest, neither have
not
I.
very knowledgeable on it. Crew Blaze dominating very
Yeah,
fog.
sounds about right.
Skullcracker Quartz. Okay, that is an interesting name.
What is that name?
It's a good name, that's for sure. Skullcracker Quartz. God damn, that's a name and a half.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah,
No,
they
bro,
look
like,
pretty
yeah.
good.
I
Yeah,
can't
crew
say
winning.
anything
Let me check
about
I was
the
them.
PLR
surprised.
before we forget anything.
I think we're all right. I think we've covered most of the major stuff. Okay. Let's move on to the Tier 1 leagues. The main event of Valorant at the moment. Everything's still going on. Which region do we want to start with? Do we want to start with the best region?
One second.
which is Pacific. No, I'm joking.
Is Bo laying down because he's tired of the friend? Yeah, he is. Oh, he's taking a blanket. Okay. Yeah, get yourself comfy, cozy, lean
All right.
back.
Let's start with something that everybody's excited about for one reason or
Wait,
another.
I gotta put on my headphones. 1 second.
Oh my god.
Ah.
Okay, good to go, Bo.
Yes, I'm ready to talk
EMEA.
about Tier 1.
Hell yeah. All right.
We've got. We've got a tier 1 franchising employee on this podcast now.
Hell yeah, this is
Bangovic.
correct. It's Liquid Bangovic from nowadays. Hello.
Sure.
I'm totally unbiased. I'm definitely not rooting for Liquid, and I have never done it so far. No, but like, yeah, in all seriousness, I'm now like, yeah, part of Team Liquid. Very excited. Gonna be even more at the venue, closer to the boys. And yeah, EMEA, not just a good league because of Liquid, but just in general. I think we have a very, like, just a very good field of teams, and it's pretty close right now. And last week has showcased that once again, that you cannot tell who is a good team and who's a bad team, because everyone is just winning and losing left and right. Besides Fnatic.
Bangovic.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
That's true.
Bro, this is like full on PR talking right now about EMEA.
No, I agree. No,
Bro.
I agree that you can't tell who's good and who's bad.
Who's good? Who's bad? Tell me.
Here's the thing, like,
You can tell-
EMEA is extremely inconsistent. There has been very fun matches, but there's also been entire shit shows of matches.
Yeah,
already.
but they're fun to watch.
Yeah.
They're fun to watch. Yeah, definitely.
It's like this is the
But
thing. Like in
fucking
EMEA,
hell.
Carmine Core. I mean, okay, let's start there. Carmine
Yeah,
Core
let's start there.
again looked
Ugh.
terrible against Liquid. They looked abysmal. I
Yes.
thought. I mean, all of us pretty much thought they were going to get 13-0'd. Barely avoided it with the pistol round. And
Yeah.
then there was the whole thing about Nevera forgetting to buy
Bro.
because he was celebrating the one round that they won.
They won
Um,
around. They
it was
avoided
just
the
so
13-0,
bad.
and he just gets up, pulls out his headphone, everything, just celebrates and forgets to buy. And then he even clutches the 1v1 with the pistol to. That's just mental.
It
But I
was
mean,
just not good.
I don't know. I'm like a bit speechless what Carmine Corp is doing. Like, honestly, it's a bit sad on a way, because I think Liquid played good, but regardless of how good they played, like Yumpy got 2 aces in 1 half, which is great. But then on the other hand, K Corp was trolling in a way. I don't know. There was this one play with New Zera, like just jiggle peeking, like jump spotting the corner, and just Yumpy just walks next by him, crosses the spike, and backsteps 2 players in mid. Well, the rest of the team is on the other bomb side.
Oh,
And then
God,
they
it's
just go safe.
terrible.
And then I just gotta save because there's no time left. Like, oh my god, bro. it's-
The time pressure that they create for themselves and only by themselves is
Mhm.
just terrible. Like it really is just not good. And their entire macro strategy about the game, the economy, basic decisions
not
that you would
co-
see in even diamond lobbies is just terrible.
Hookers would have done better.
Actually, I think they actually would have done.
I think so too. I mean, Scream got 2 kills on Split. 2 to 14. I have never seen that of him. Like, that's ridiculous.
The
2
It
El
was
kills.
just-
Clasico, bro.
I
you say?
cannot imagine. What was it we can say about?
Oh no, I was just going to say the El Clasico.
Yeah, I cannot imagine what the players felt like after that match.
No, me neither.
I felt good because I was farming Twitter likes.
Oh,
It
yeah,
was a great
same.
tweet. Yeah, that was a good tweet.
But it was terrible from Carmine Core. Liquid, on the other hand, I thought they looked good. I don't think we can say that they're like
Yeah.
reformed or they're playing to their full potential yet, because as we know, it was Carmine Core. But they look really good. And
Yeah.
Yampy especially. I mean,
Yeah.
it was looking clean.
I agree. From my biased perspective, I gotta say it looks like we're improving from week to week. That's great.
Yeah.
It looks like it. I think, like generally speaking, I think what you could see from Liquid plays, like there were approaches, like how they're gonna approach rounds. Like you saw some plans which they executed and they just worked because K Corp didn't do anything against it, which is great. Like at least they did their plan and like it worked out. So I think we improve day-by-day basis. But K Corp, I'm worried, honestly. At this point, I don't even know how they're gonna turn things around. And yeah, because they look good against BBL, they look good against Loud at Lock-In, and they won against FPX. Like, what happened in that last
The way
6
they
weeks?
fix it is just by doing normal shit. Just
But
literally,
I genuinely think that the Scream way of thinking about the game has completely taken over the team to the point where
Yes.
if he is IGLing, they cannot physically do normal shit. They can't do
then
it because of the
mute
way he
him,
thinks about the
tell
game.
him to play Reyna, mute him on Discord or TeamSpeak, and just get it.
I genuinely think they would play better. I genuinely think they
Yeah.
would.
Exactly. They would play better.
And god damn it, like they need one guy, an analyst, coming in for 2 days and like give them basic education on like how to calculate, like how to like sort out your economic, like how can you like
They need
like
an
when to buy.
economy teacher. They need a legit
for real.
fucking teacher.
And
who
another
does
thing
the
is like
economy.
give the spike to a player who can actually play it. Like perhaps really like hot take, maybe give the spike to Gecko because he got wingman to plant instead of leaving the spike in spawn or
Oh my God,
giving it to
it's
the
just
breach. The breach player who is not with the team because he's stunning from spawn, so the team can approach the site. So 4 people are on site while the breach is still in spawn. Like, bro, I'm losing my mind. Honestly, like it's the basics. It's literally the basics, the fundamentals. Like,
if I was Carmine Core's
He's
coach,
changing the
I
game.
would genuinely watch. I wouldn't watch like the VODs of the actual game. I would watch Sideshow's Twitch VODs, and it would tell me every mistake that Carmine Core made in that. Maybe not every single one, but it would tell me the major mistakes because he pointed them out. He is not hesitant to point out mistakes.
Nope.
So I would just watch. I would literally watch Sideshow's co-stream VOD if I'm a Carmine Core to see like
Yep.
the huge mistakes they're making. The economy management is just abysmal. It's just terrible. I don't know how they won against BBL, and I don't see how they're going to make the playoffs. To be honest.
Nope.
yeah,
It's,
no way,
it's
no
an
way.
entire shit show.
Like they're on like okay, they are still like in contention because it's like 1-2 the stats, like 1 win, 2 losses, and it's early in the season. But on the other hand, they haven't faced like Koi, Giants, Fnatic, Navi. Like
Yeah, but okay. Here's the thing. I actually expect them to win against Koi. I can actually see them directly
Yo.
go against Koi.
what the
That's-
fuck?
That's
That's-
crazy, man.
That's a prediction that I have.
You're on
alright?
such copium. I don't
I
know
am not
copium from
on
what.
copium. I am on obsidium.
That's just
What the
stupid. Why?
fuck?
Why ever? Why? Why would that happen?
Prayed the words. I have prayed the worst.
Just
I
you
have-
literally you saw Koi lose against Giants and you were like, yeah, they're
Yes.
terrible, clueless.
Yes. Nah.
Oh wait,
Bro,
I
what
was
the
13-1
fuck?
actually.
Like no, like bro, I don't know. K Corp gotta run like some like 180 shit. Like they gotta turn everything around. Like I don't know, every role must change in order that I see Koi losing against K Corp.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't know. How can they like Koi has a working concept. They gotta like, of course they had like a not that great like game. We're gonna talk about it like very soon. I think next up is actually Koi Giants, I guess. But like, no way. Slater's gonna slay. Trek's gonna farm. Like I don't know. No
Okay, let's
way.
talk about
You guys are
that
jinxing them.
game.
You guys are jinxing them.
Let's talk about that game now. Koi versus Giants. A lot of people were saying Giants didn't really deserve to be 0-2, or they were better than 0-2 than their scoreline. In terms of like what?
It scares me that it's 1-13.
The
I've never
113.
seen that from Koi.
I mean,
It just scares me.
I don't think it's that bad. I think it's all right.
Think about the words that Barbar has spoken to them. When
Yeah,
that
after
happened.
Lotus, after
Oh,
Lotus
God.
113.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
damn.
man,
But-
Barbar
yeah, I
can be
agree.
a harsh man, but that holy they
It was-
they would.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people saying Giants were better than their scoreline admitted, and it looks like they are. They 2-0'd Koi, 13-1 on Lotus, like Bo was saying, and 13-11 on Ascent. That was a close map. But yeah,
Mhm.
that Lotus game, I think if you watched it, it was kind of like Giants were playing. They were hitting every shot, especially
Yes.
Nookie. I mean, this guy was just going crazy. Cloud played
Yeah.
really well.
Mm.
And they had a way better game plan than Koi did. Koi were able to play it close against Navi because Navi's Gecko was nowhere near as good as Giants was, and their individual players were hitting. In this game, they just weren't in the same way.
Mhm.
And Giants
They
just
were
kind of had the
not
read on them
cooking.
in every round. It was so weird. Giants, every time they put like a 3-stack and they pushed something at the start on defense, they just knew where Koi were. Every round they knew where they were.
That was
So
crazy.
they must have had some crazy good anti-stratting. And respect to Rhyme, IGL of Giants. Yeah, I thought they played a great game. Yeah, we'll see if it continues, I guess.
But I totally agree with the fact like that you said like Giants didn't deserve the O2, but they started against Fnatic and Na'Vi, and like I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like
tough.
against Fnatic they didn't look. I felt like it looked rough against Fnatic, but against Na'Vi they looked very competitive. And versus Koi, that just has like they just proven it to me that they got what it takes to make it to playoffs. Of course they need the wins now that like 3 very good teams like which are in the favorite like the pool of favorites to make it to the playoffs. 3 of them are out of their way. Now they got to farm the wins. They got to get them in now. But I think they can do it if they keep up the level of play they just showcased against Koi. They look like favorites to even make it to playoffs. I feel like because like they just got they got the easier half of the bracket now. Like they're gonna play against the teams which are fighting for playoffs but are not a lock because Na'Vi, Fnatic, they are locks. Koi definitely a favorite, and now they're gonna play teams like K Corp, Heretics, BBL.
Yeah, I mean they have a game against BBL, a game against Heretics, and a game against KC. If they win all 3 of those and lose, and even if they lost all the others, they'd be 4-5, and I think that would be enough, maybe, to get them into
Yeah,
the playoffs,
I mean,
right?
I'm kind of uncertain about Giants being able to get
He's
that
like,
far.
Giants, Koi is so bad. Giants are the best team in the world. I'm kind of uncertain about them making the playoffs.
No, like here's the thing. Like Koi is boomed right now, and it's all good. But like Giants, just like I don't know. It just seems like a very chaotic team.
Giants.
Yeah,
Why? They played 3 very good teams. They had like one rough performance and 2 pretty good ones.
I keep watching them,
What
and I'm
is
kind
he
of like,
cooking, man?
this is literally just individual plays. There's a lot of like.
I think it looks a lot like it, but I think the way that they play is they make plays that rely on them hitting shots, but they have really good players. So I feel like on their day they can put up a fight against almost anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is obviously what happened here against Koi. But I think even if they're not necessarily hitting like every shot, I think they'll still beat BBL, Heretics, and K Corp. I think they will still beat those teams. So
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
pretty
know.
I'm pretty confident
In my
in
opinion,
the fact that they can get 4 wins.
I am not warm on Giants.
I mean, I understand that, but if I look at their scheduled matches, like BBL, Foot, Liquid, Heretics, Vitality, K Corp, honestly, I wouldn't rule them out against any of those. They could win and lose every they have a chance in every one of those matchups. So
Yeah,
it's in their hand, honestly.
Yeah.
agreed. Agree. Okay, next up, who we go with next? Maybe we'll go with one of the teams that we were talking about. They've already played. Fnatic played against Team Heretics. I think most people were expecting Fnatic to win, and they did in very convincing fashion. Yeah, Fnatic, they had got Alvia back, and they just looked demonic, really.
Yeah, I gotta say, I didn't expect Heretics to look crazy good after the K Corp match, but they own K Corp, and then they just looked like the Heretics we used to know from the weeks before. And funnily, like first of all, they played Icebox against Fnatic, what you can do, but they got 13 freed. And then they play Ascent. And what was really funny to me is like
The Kellogg's Phoenix.
The Kellogg's Phoenix.
Lord.
Like
Lord have mercy.
Like Kellogg's isn't
They
known
were
for his
not
depth in
cooking.
agent pool. And like they were like, okay, we're gonna change Kellogg's Jet, which is actually good and would work perfectly on a map like Ascent, to Phoenix.
Actually,
Just
Loki, they would have won Ascent. They could have like actually gotten a chance to win
What is
on Ascent with Kellogg's on Ascent.
What are you cooking? No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they would. Okay, watch back the VODs of Kellogg's on Ascent. He was made for that map on Jet.
They would not have won this map.
I mean,
against
they wouldn't have
Fnatic,
won it,
man.
but they would have got like 2 or 3 more rounds, I bet. Like,
Nah, they could definitely have won it.
I actually think they would have gotten the same or less because I feel like if Fnatic were preparing to play against Ascent against Heretics, they would have been prepping against
I mean,
a comp that
you've
didn't
already-
have Viper, Omen, and Sky in it.
that's fair enough, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, you already saw like there are some weak points in Fnatic's Ascent, which BBL got really like good results
Yeah,
out of.
But while they were playing with
but
a sub,
BBL
let's
has
not forget that.
also probably like the best Ascent right now in all Valorant. I swear to God.
And Fnatic
BBL?
were playing with a sub
Yeah.
in that game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I agree.
But-
I mean, Fnatic beat Loud on Ascent. Like, I'm not going to, they were probably prepping for the regular comp.
Yeah.
So
I
I
mean,
think,
like-
BBL has the best one right now. So
but I
but-
mean,
but-
Fnatic, they were just so in control of the series.
Yeah, like there was not a single round where you had the feeling like this could go any other way. Like it was just meant to be like
Yeah.
Fnatic's win from the draw. But to be fair, like what are we making out of Heretics? Because they stomped K Corp, and I was like, okay, maybe they have a chance of like actually beating one. But then, like, honestly, I don't know if they have the chance to beat any other team now they face. Like, I'm so low on them, honestly.
The only real team I see them beating is BBL, really. They just, for me, what Bo was saying about Giants, about they're relying on individual plays. To me, that's Team Heretics.
Yeah, I agree.
The team that I'm very cold on, and they rely a lot on individual players.
I
yeah.
don't even know if they rely on anything at this point. It's kind of like just random bullshit go.
And it
Well,
looked,
yeah, exactly.
honestly, it looked so good against K Corp. I felt like, they figured it out, like playing
But here's the
execute
thing.
and stuff. And then, like, they just don't continue doing it.
That's why I'm hesitant to say Liquid are like
Yeah,
really
exactly.
good now, because it's against K Corp.
Yeah, I rate the Foot game of Liquid highly because Foot looked very good in everything we've seen so far. But the K Corp one is just like, we got the dub, but yeah, let's prep for the next game.
Yeah.
And Heretics, I don't know, man. I don't know what to make out of this team. They won one game. It was against K Corp. They look shambolic right now. Heretics ain't making playoffs. Let's put it this way.
I don't think so. And Fnatic are making playoffs.
I mean, yeah.
I think
one more win or something, they're locked.
Yeah, I think they have a very good chance of going 9-0. I just don't see them. I'm not going into any game thinking, yeah, they could lose this. I'm literally just thinking, yeah, they got it. Like, GG.
But they're gonna play Na'Vi at least, right? So
the last week. So by that point,
it
if they're
wouldn't
8-0,
even matter.
yeah, if they're 8-0, that would be a good match. To see if Na'Vi can stop it. But yeah.
All right. Talking about Na'Vi. Na'Vi played against BBL. It was a 2-0 win. Na'Vi bounced back, and Na'Vi beat BBL on Ascent, actually. 13-10.
Na'Vi is so weird like that.
Yeah.
They will just
Na'Vi just do shit. Like,
they'll just beat a team on their best map, like
I
that they're
love
known
how
for, and then
inconsistent Na'Vi is, just like in a positive way.
also
Yeah.
the amount of
Inconsistency is
people
the
that
way
got
they win. They just
the amount
keep
of people that
doing
got
stuff.
baited by that tweet that said that they locked the wrong agent on
Yeah.
Fracture. Of course they didn't lock the wrong agent and play it. Like
Yeah.
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 Bo 100% got baited by that.
I definitely got baited by that.
Bro,
But
if
that's
they
like-
lock the
that's
wrong
kind of-
agent, they're just gonna call attack and just reset the lobby.
Nah, like the thing about Angel is like I could definitely see him say like, no, fuck that, bro. Let's just play. Let's play Yoru. It
I
works.
think that Angel maybe came up literally at the venue, like, yo, CNET, you played Yoru? Yes, pick him. Like something like this. I could see that, but I don't
The
think like
funniest
they're
shit is CNET has a 0% like he's never played Yoru.
but it looked
And it
good. I
looked
liked
good,
it.
that's
Yeah, it
the
looked
thing.
good. It looked
Yeah.
good. And genuinely, I think like Na'Vi looked good. BBL once again looked super competitive. It was such a close series. I mean, 13-10, what was the second map? Let me see. 13-8, okay, not too close, but like still, BBL looked competitive, but they still haven't got a win on their belts. They lost against Carmine Corp. I don't know how that happened, but I'm a bit sad for BBL because I think this team deserves a win, but they haven't got any.
Hot take here. Bodework hot take. They're better than Foot. They're just
Oh my
canceling.
God, what is this? What is
Yo, that's a hot
They-
take.
This is from the
They-
same
they
guy who said Vitality were going to qualify third, by the way, and they just lost to Foot. Let's just put that out there. In fact, they got
Yeah,
absolutely destroyed by Foot. We'll get onto that.
Okay.
Damn.
How
How are you gonna? He's not wrong
Look,
though.
well,
I'm
I
being
agree with the fact that
bullied.
I think BBL should, I think they deserve a win, but they just haven't got it, and I think that should have been against K Corp. But the problem now is the next 2 weeks they've got
BBL can
Giants.
stick the landing. They are
They've got-
better than Foot. Let's just put it that way.
They can
Okay.
play one map, that's it. Anyway, so they play Giants and Vitality next. I can see them going down 0-5, and at that point, I don't think they make playoffs, which I think is going to be scary. After that, they've still got Koi, Liquid, and Foot to play in their last 3 games, so I don't see this team making playoffs. Unfortunately, I hope Foot do because I want a Turkish team to make it. But yeah, it's a shame about
I mean, Foot has good
BBL.
chances, right?
Yeah, I think so, especially after they beat
Esports.
Vitality quite convincingly. Let's just say.
Oh yeah, it's actually. Shall I open the match? You actually didn't
Bro.
talk about it, right?
Yeah, let's get onto that one.
It was actually a 4-13 on Lotus and a 10-13 on Haven. And honestly, I was a bit disappointed with Vitality on that one. I don't think that Foot Lotus looks insane. I mean, they won it against everyone they played. They won it in a fumble way against Liquid. They won it somehow against 100 Thieves. And they keep picking it. They keep winning it. But on the other hand, there's so much footage on them on Lotus, and it never felt like they own people on that map. It always felt like there is a window of opportunity to beat them on that map. And yeah, apparently, like, Vitality just got stomped on Lotus. They had no chance. Like, Foot was just too good. And yeah, they just basically outclassed him.
I've been seeing a lot of things about double controller on Lotus being just infinitely better than single controller. I think we saw it again here. Vitality with only the harbor, they just got boomed. Kiwi and Atta captain, man. This guy was a sub, by the way. They had their roster. Atta captain came in as a sub for one of their players, but now they've just put him on the roster permanently because he's played so well.
He's
and
farming, man.
Yeah, he's just playing incredibly well. 13-4 and a 13-10 on Haven, which, by the way, Vitality pushed Leviathan to, what was it, 16-14 at
Yeah, turn
lock-in.
overtime. Yeah.
And Kiwi, Kiwi
This
looks so
guy,
good.
the Turkish
crazy.
duelist.
Kiwi and Art Captain, I'm a believer. Yeah, Foot won. This could have been a revenge match for Vitality from the VRLs, but Foot take it, and I don't really see how you can say that Foot aren't a good team now. Really.
Yeah.
Because Vitality were meant to be the team, like the gatekeeper team, the rock team, the solid team, But Foot, they've been playing really well.
Honestly, I like this loss of Vitality. I don't know what this is gonna mean for them going forward. I have the feeling like, I mean, maybe it was just an off day, but I felt like this is a match which Vitality had to win if they want to mark down, I guess, we are a top 3 team, or like for me right now, they still are like contenders for the playoffs. Surely they could probably make it, but I don't know, losing in that fashion, I don't know, it gives me some weird vibes from the Vitality camp. I was not expecting this match to go that way, honestly.
Yeah, and every team has an off day.
Yeah.
And that's, fair enough. I just feel like some maps, like that 13-2 against Liquid back in the first week, it was just like, that's weird. Like, what? Like, what happened? And I feel like Vitality do that sometimes, where it's like, okay, that was weird. You just kind of lost. And I hope that doesn't keep happening. But I think I said in our predictions video that in the playoffs, I think Vitality might have a tougher time. And if they don't get top 2, which it doesn't seem like they will now, then I don't know if they'll make it to Tokyo. But they're still a solid team, obviously. But I think Foot's gone up in my estimations after that match.
Yeah. And I'm just going to open up the entire, like, the table before we switch to another region. And right now we can see, like, Fnatic is sitting up top with 3 wins, 0 losses, and 0 ties, because that's just not possible. But VLR has them. BBL, 0 wins, 3 losses. And then basically from place 9 to second, it's just 1 or 2 wins. So it is super tight in that entire mid area. So every team basically still has chances to make it to playoffs. But yeah, we've spoken about it. Giants is right now sitting in the playoffs, even though they played against Fnatic, Na'Vi, and Koi, right? So they played 3 very good teams. So yeah, for some teams the way into playoffs will be easier, for some harder, like more difficult. But just generally, even though it sounds PR, it just is open. Everyone can still make it.
It's like if Carmine Core beat Vitality, if that's a very big if, by the way.
Yeah.
If they did, they would be up. They would probably be above them, depending on obviously round differential. And actually, no, with maps, I don't think they could be. But you know, they'll be level with them in terms of wins and losses. So, like you said, these teams seem really far apart, but one win, one loss, one off day can change everything. So, yeah. All right, I think that's EMEA covered. Next up, are we going left or right on the world map?
Maybe
going
Pacific, because America's like we have right now the game going 100 Thieves against
yeah, we're waiting.
So,
we'll do Pacific and then
genius.
Yeah, maybe we got a map in or something when we like stole it a little bit. Let's go to Pacific.
Yeah. You want to know what's more interesting? Apex versus Vominos.
It really isn't. Sorry, it just is not. So we're going to talk about Pacific.
Come on! Stop hitting on Polaris, man.
Both tried.
You're mean. It's not very nice.
All right,
you're not getting watch party rights. You're not. You're never getting.
Okay, which match are we starting with?
I will not get in contact with my friends to get you watch party
Please
rights.
Please do.
Talk positive about Polaris.
I love Vamonos, but we are going to talk about Pacific right now.
All teams you chose, it was fucking Vamonos. Okay.
This is quite different to the EMEA League in the way that there's more 3-0 teams and there's more 0-3 teams than there are in EMEA. It's a little bit less close, you might think, but the teams, I'd say, are all fairly close apart from a few breakout ones at the top. So we'll start with start with the ones at the very top and the very bottom, actually. The first match here would be DRX versus Talon, which happened yesterday as we're recording this. And it was a troll fest by Talon. Troll fest.
I don't even... Oh, man, this one hurts to speak about.
I don't even want to talk about this.
Yeah.
I'm kind of... I'll just... Okay, you guys just talk about this match and I'll lay down on my bed just crying. Because I want Talon to succeed, man. I just want them to succeed. Well, this is not the way to do it. This is not the way, okay? This is not the way. It's like that Jedi guy from Mandalorian. This is not the way.
This is the thing. It's like I wouldn't even mind so much if they didn't have a good performance at Lock-In. But the fact that they had a good performance against Lock-In, they're putting up, a close match against DRX there. And then they come in here and get absolutely boomed playing triple duelist on Split with Patty on Astra. What is that? I heard somebody say that it worked for them in scrims, but...
Yeah, but no, man. Okay.
Man.
Look, triple duelist. Okay, you can go troll and go triple duelist, but then you got Garnets and Putty on your roster, who have proven to be insane duelists. But you know what? Neither of them played the duelist on that map. It was Sushi Boys, Foxy, and Jit Boys. And I cannot grasp my head around why on earth is neither Ped, like Puttypan, or Garnets on the duelist. If you run a triple duelist comp, that just seems like the biggest troll I've ever seen. Like, I don't know. And then it's not even like you do it.
This first map is just so...
Yeah, it's a free 13, and you do, like the thing is that they pick triple duelist with 3 players who are not known for their duelist performance on the roster against one of the best teams in the world, which is literally like just DRX and not like just Mako farming and all the others farming. Like, you can tell me like it has been working in scrims, but come on, you gotta be kidding me. That was the biggest troll in this entire league.
And let's not forget that second map as well, picking the Reyna. It was like they were playing an open qualifier. It was literally like DRX in an open qualifier, like playing against triple duelist Reyna Jet. Like, come on, man, it's just sad to watch at this point.
And do
It's
we know
just
what's
sad to
happening with
watch.
Garnett? What is with Garnett? Why is he not playing? He was great at lock-in. Where is he?
I don't know.
Where is Garnett? Where?
God knows, man.
Bo,
And
where is he?
This is the stupid thing. Like,
He's on the bench.
Why is he on the bench?
I don't know.
I like Cruz
I
as
don't
an
think he's on the
IGL.
bench.
Like,
I think it's like map dependent. where
I
they
like
basically
Cruz as an
just lock him in.
IGL. I actually like his calling and stuff, and it showed at lock-in. But I don't know.
Who
Doesn't
are they
feel like he's
scrimming
running
against?
the team.
I wonder who they're scrim. Probably like tier 3, and they just like, oh, it worked. Or
No.
they maybe scrim in ranked, and it works there. Like
Scrum and ragged.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
It seems like it.
how do you come up with those comps
I
seriously?
believe they're
Like,
in like the big scrim group, so they better have some good scrims.
I mean, I don't know.
Because
You can't tell me that they've played this against like Gen G and it's worked. I'm sorry, you just can't. You
Here's-
can't tell me that.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing about
No
Apex
way.
scrims: people are amazingly lazy.
Good
Like
team.
it is an actual like.
Wait,
People
what do you
are
mean?
there to test stuff.
Oh,
That's it.
okay. Yeah.
So if you are dominating scrims, that doesn't matter at all.
I mean, okay.
It's the same thing like when DRX, like they were farming scrims in APAC, but once they came over to EMEA for like LANs, they were getting farmed in scrims.
Okay.
So you can't really like look at a team in Pacific and just see, okay, this they are really good in scrims. They could probably win a lot. No, it don't work.
But the
It
thing
don't
is,
work
they
like
look
it.
good at lock-in. 1
Yeah.
month ago, they looked like a good team, and now they're
I
all
think- I
free
think
because
it's-
they're trolling.
I think it's the introduction of Pat, just trying to find ways to like include him, which has resulted in like the stability of the team like falling down.
But
It doesn't even it doesn't even
Yeah.
seem like they're trying to keep it together. That's what is annoying
Mhm.
me. It's like,
Mhm.
I mean, okay, so they lose against Team Secret in the first week. Fine, at least they take a map, right? Then they play up against T1, and it's like, okay, now let's just play the Gecko with 2 different people. Like, okay, right? And then this week it was like, yeah, we don't really care. Sushi Boys can just play Jet, and Jit Boys just play Reyna. I don't know.
they
It's
got
just-
a new coach, right?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, but
No.
he's not there yet, right? No, they got where's
Yeah,
the boy?
the-
They got boy,
Yeah, they got Boy.
but he's
but
not there yet. So he just arrived. I think he just
they arrived. Yeah,
he arrived, but he had no impact on those.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
on that-
it's
on that
mostly
game.
See how
just
that impacts
Zeus.
it.
It's mostly just Zeus cooking for the most part.
But like, I don't understand. Like, they
Who
had
let
a
him cook?
but they had a working concept at lock-in, and they just
Yeah.
screw it over entirely
I
and
mean-
started full troll. I don't
They
understand.
haven't even tried to like cement these roles. Patty has played 6 different agents on like 8 different maps, which is just
Pros
why?
flexing.
Actually no, because he didn't even play some of the maps. So like, I don't even know.
It's just confusing. It's just so confusing. I'm so disappointed because what they showed at lock-in looked so promising, and they just decided to go another route, which is just doing cuckoo shit, and it just doesn't work at all. And when you think, okay, they're gonna fix things and they're gonna improve going forward, they just don't. It's just frustrating because
Yeah.
I think they
I mean,
have
people
the
had
talent.
People had this team as one of the top 3 that
Yes.
could go to Tokyo, and they've just completely trolled. They're not going to go to Tokyo now because of what
Yeah.
the performances they've put up here.
I mean,
don't
they
know.
need heroics to make it to playoffs now, or like not heroics, but they need to win like more than they lose now. Like every second match, they got to win at least to have a chance of playoffs, and then like I don't know, they still got to make it to the top 3, which is very unlikely considering how good other teams look. But yeah,
Yeah, it's tough. For Talon and DRX, of course, they look
I
great.
mean-
Foxy9 looks great. The GOAT. I really
glad
like
he
him.
gets the playtime. Glad he gets some experience on the belt because I think from his land jitters on the first match to what we've seen now, I like it. I like
Yeah.
it.
I really like him, and I think it's the factor that DRX could need if they want to place, second, first at these big tournaments. So
Mm-hmm. All right.
I like it.
Shall we move on?
Yep, let's do it.
Which game we going to?
Okay, let's go to the second most fraudulent O3 team Destination Focus Me versus RRQ. I thought this was going to be a toilet bowl. I thought this was just going to be two bad teams playing against each other, and I thought DFM would win actually. But RRQ took it in pretty convincing fashion.
Hell yeah.
It was really the Indonesian guys, Flipstid and Zephyro, no longer Tebatol. He was incredible in this game.
Bottle was better. I'll be honest. The name
Wait, which was?
to bottle.
It was good, but I think it was kind of a meme name, so he wanted to change it, which is fair enough.
Meme names are better.
I got a point.
24 kills in 17 rounds on the first map was crazy.
Yeah, that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a point.
Definitely.
One player out, and it is Suggest. I just checked it here, and on the game against Gen G, I was hyping Suggest up to the moon, plus 25, farming, 1.5 rating, 307 ACS, best player on the server against Gen G. Such a competitive match, and then.
No.
The problem with Detonation Focus Me is that they are just a fucking shit show in terms of communication. Simple as that.
I believe so. And did you see that? Was this?
They have 4 Japanese players and 1 Korean player.
Yeah.
I think he speaks Japanese, don't I?
Yeah, I think so.
Not really that fluently, and not really Japanese is a hard language to learn.
I was on Foxy9's stream yesterday, and I didn't understand anything. Mostly not. But he was speaking Korean and Japanese in his stream, so I think it is kind of pick it up. But I don't know. Obviously, not going to be fluent.
Yeah. But the problem generally is, and that's also something that when I was trialing players for hookers and all of that, we wanted to start off with, because all my players needed to switch over to English, right? Yeah. And that's definitely something that most teams have a hard time getting used to. Which is why we did not want 4 Danish players and 1 international player, because we know it would fuck over that international player. So having 2 international players plus 3 of the national players, that's the best way to go. And that's what I expected them. That's what I thought they would do with Sealdom. But of course, they have basically just kicked them out at this point. So
wasn't there this? I think Suggest, I don't know, was an interview or a stream or something where he actually pointed out that their issue was the IGLing.
I think so.
Really?
And it was pretty direct about it. He wasn't holding back. That was actually a bit crazy.
Isn't Anthem the one IGLing now?
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
That does not make any sense. Why isn't Radar or Zenfree? Here's the thing, okay? You could easily turn this team into a next level Japanese roster, but you could also turn it into a next level international roster by literally just doing that.
I found it.
You change up the roster just a little bit. You get Zenfree, you get him to practice his IGLing in English and try to pick up some other Pacific talent.
Zenfree, I know DFM aren't performing super well right now, but Zenfree is actually one of my favorite pro players. Every time I've watched him in an interview, he seems like the most stand-up guy you could ever know. His English is flawless, really. And I think it would be cool to see him IGL, because I remember because I thought he was IGLing for North Epsom, but it was actually Jojo.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like Zenfree as a player, and I want to see him succeed. So we'll have to see where they go with this.
That's the reason why we have problems with Detonation. I just messaged them what the reason was.
Right.
Let's just keep it at that.
I actually found the part with Suggest calling out Anthem, and I just read the quote here. The question was from Sportskira, your team is yet to win in this tournament. What areas do you think DFM needs to work on more on? I think our poor part is the IGL and physical. I think this league is a league game, so I have to show better physical performance for the next matches. So I think we need to practice more of our physical performance. Then they reiterate the question by IGL, did you mean the in-game leader Anthem? And he said yes. So he's straight up pointing to Anthem. That
I mean, I respect it.
I respect it, but also
We don't know exactly what the
if you're on a
translation was.
franchise
So.
team and
Yes.
you can't live up to the standards, and like the problem is that there is no transfer window anymore.
Yeah,
So
that's the
what
problem.
can you
Isn't it?
do?
I mean,
You can
honestly,
just sit there and do nothing.
But
You
we
just gotta
are-
accept it and cook again next year.
but this is still tier 1. We are in franchising. If you have a problem
Yeah.
with your IGL, you go to your team manager, you hold that. Like, you can
Here
put that out after the split ended when the transfer windows. But right now, that's just doomed. That's just doomed.
Also, I feel
Yeah.
like the whole English thing is like, I don't know about that because RRQ, they had the same thing. They went from a Filipino-speaking roster to an English-speaking roster. They've been transferring over to English. I saw the coaches saying it was quite difficult to transfer over, but now they've managed to do it, and they actually look decent, which I don't think a lot of people were expecting coming in from this team.
Yeah.
takes time.
So and they pushed Zeta as well. So
Yeah.
the week
And
before, so-
Detonation was actually going international during
right,
the
okay.
off season. But
Hmm.
I don't know what happened during the off season because like I heard a Jock show and like a lot of teams were like linked. It's the same thing with Gen G where Gen G was actually looking at getting like a Japanese and Korean roster.
Right.
So they were basically looking to like acquire the entire Northception
Oh,
roster at that point.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'm glad.
So-
I'm almost glad they didn't, because I feel like this
Yeah.
current roster has like a very high ceiling.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it would have been interesting.
So, but there are like I would definitely see Detonation either going the Japanese development route or going international and basically pick up those Australian players that they also trialed back in the off season or like anything at this point.
Would be
Makes
cool to
sense.
see.
There's a bunch
OCE
of
players,
talent.
but-
There's also a bunch of Thai players that they could definitely check out.
What from Made in Thailand? That team's cracked, bro.
Yes, bro. Made in Thailand is absolutely like that's the best development like organization ever. Like I've seen them cook so much and I keep picking up like amazing players.
But
They
wouldn't
do.
be like Talon Esports the first like team I think of like put up Thai talent because they already have like Thai talent already.
Well,
so
I think it
feel
would
like-
be quite an odd move to see DFM pick up some Thai players, but it'll be cool.
I mean, yeah, would be cool, but right now looks bad. RQ looks improved. Looked very good in
they
this
can
match.
also get Visi. Visi left Son Goku. I
Bro
forgot
is
about
just
that.
bro's
Oh, yeah,
just challenges pilled.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, RRQ, I think they're improving. They look good. I still don't think they'll make playoffs, but they're improving. So respect. Okay,
What's up next?
we'll go for the final 0-3 team. Why don't we? Global Esports. I was very sad to see them lose this series.
I was
would
actually-
F in chat for that visa situation. That's
Yes.
just out of their hands, and
Yeah.
it is very sad.
It's
It is
tough.
very sad. And honestly, I'm very sad because on God, I don't know how Zeta could get away with this win because I think GE just deserved that win so badly. And they had it in their hands on Ascent, and they sadly lost it in the overtime. And it was heartbreaking.
Wait. Okay. Let me just real quick go back to the stuff. I
Yeah.
forgot Kadoom is still not.
Oh
on
my
a
God.
franchise team.
This
Bro.
guy's so challenges pilled. It's actually crazy.
Kadoom, bro. I forgot about him.
It's fine. They're gonna win Ascension in Pacific. I'm telling you.
Kadoom is the future, that's for sure.
Okay. Global Esports though. Yeah, I was sad to see them lose this series.
Yeah.
I think they deserve. I think they are kind of the giants of Pacific, except they're going 0-3 instead of 0-2. I like this roster that they've got currently. I think it will be interesting to see the Indian players come in for the next game, assuming they do.
Yeah.
In a way, I didn't mind who really won this because now Zeta are 2-1. They actually have a fairly decent chance of making it to playoffs.
2-1.
Yeah.
No, they actually are.
But
Wow,
they have
that's
already
crazy.
played RRQ, but that means they've got matches against Talon, Detonation, and T1 as well, who arguably look worse, but we'll get onto that. So I think they actually could make it to playoffs,
That is true.
at which point the hype can start. But for now, I think I'm still not super high on them. They didn't play super well in this series. I think I don't really know. I was watching it and it felt like Global Esports were winning, but then they just weren't. It was very odd.
I mean, to be fair, if it wasn't for DAP, Global Esports would have been winning.
Yeah.
Like DAP just had a heroic, like he just went insane. Like 325 ACS, 1.43 rating, plus 28, 15-7 first kills, first deaths. He had just a crazy series and he couldn't be matched. And I think if it wasn't for his fragging, there was no chance for Zeta. And that's also the issue I have with Zeta, because they still look so slow in some of their approaches. And they just, I don't know, it just still looks the same like it did last year. It just doesn't look improved. But I'm glad DAP looks good on the Jet. I mean, that was a crazy performance. Some people were like afraid, like, do they have the players like switching back to a Jet, and like how can they like switch the roles, like, because they were so like, one of their winning factors was the chamber, right, back in 2022. Now DAP has proven they got a good Jet. But other than that, I don't know. I'm still not convinced of Zeta. Even though they got 2 wins, I'm still like worried for them going forward. While GE looks very promising to me, and I feel like GE deserves to win, and I'm sure they're going to get them like very soon. I'm not sure which is GE's next match, actually. Let me check. Talon, PaperX, Gen G, RQ, DFM. Oh, man.
Actually, all except the Gen G one, actually winnable matches. Low key.
And maybe Team Secret. We'll have to see how both teams look by the end of the split. But yeah, if they can win against Talon and PaperX, then I think that they can make playoffs. But I don't want to speak too soon. But I hope they do well.
Me too.
Regardless,
You will be in big trouble.
I think the best scenario for me in terms of a fan of these teams, what I'm hoping to see is GE and Zeta get to playoffs.
Oof.
I want to. The teams I would want to see are DRX, Gen G, PaperX, Secret. Wait, that's too many teams. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, DRX, Gen G, PaperX, Secret, Zeta, and Global. Those are the teams I want to see. But things will have to align for that to happen.
They must align. And from what I've currently seen, I would rather see T1 instead of Zeta in that top 6, because I'm not sold on Zeta. Even though I want the Japanese team at the Tokyo Masters, I'm all in on that, but I also want to see good Valorant, and I don't like what I'm seeing from Zeta. I mean, it sounds harsh, but Zeta got to improve. Like, I don't know, they just got 2 wins, but
I think they were playing their best Valorant the other day against Global when they actually went fast. So I don't know. Maybe if they keep that up, we'll see. But let's talk about T1, the team that we were just mentioning.
2-1 fighting.
Bo was very happy that they went up 2-0. And he obviously thought they were one of the best teams in the league. And then they got absolutely destroyed by PaperX.
And something.
This was domination.
There's just something about PaperX.
Oh my god. I was thinking that it was just, okay, new player buff. He looks crazy.
Yeah,
and then on the second map, they sub in Benkai, and I'm like, okay, where's this going? But they look great again.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, Forsaken looked good again. And I was like, I was giving him some flack because he didn't look good since basically
Copenhagen. That Bo is not going to say Forsaken didn't look good.
Ban was on Jet.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, that actually happened?
Second
Look
map,
at the
yeah.
fracture comp.
I think that might be one of the lowest ratings I've actually ever seen.
Oh, man, I feel bad for Ban. Bro.
Oh, my God. Ooh, wow. That is
just bring my boy back to NA so he can play with DSG and have some fun.
I just don't even get it. Why is Carpe on Brim? Why are they making these role changes? Is it that Ban doesn't like playing Brim? Is that why? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't like that conference one.
I too do not like playing Brim, so I understand him.
Okay, question. PaperX looked good in this series. Do you think that they go with the 6-man strategy, or do you think they stick to a 5-man roster with something?
I think they're going with a 6-man roster.
I can see it. A lot of teams are in Pacific.
For this split, 100%.
Pacific is very much like 6-man oriented.
Yeah. I think it's Vision Strikers started that back in the day, I think.
Yeah, that was
Um,
7-man at one point, I believe.
yeah.
So is there a plan
But-
kind of like getting something in whenever they could like need a crack jet and put like Forsaken just on the either Neon
I think it's
or
gonna
like
be like
Killjoy?
first map. I think it's gonna be more like first map, because then they know like if something is really warmed up and all of that, and they could basically just farm the first map, I guess,
Mhm.
and just take that momentum into the next one.
But if I'm honest, Forsaken on the Killjoy looked so good. I want to see that more. I wouldn't be mad if Forsaken switches to a role like Killjoy because he looked so good on it. He was fragging.
The
and
buzz switch.
Yeah, I don't know. I like it because I don't know what it is with Forsaken lately. He didn't look too convincing on Duelist, but then he looked good on Neon and Fracture again. So it's really hard to judge. I think he is a great player. He has proven it once again that he can do it, but I'm glad he performed that good. And something I think a debut map like this, I mean, that's impressive. 18-8, like he was actually insane. Like, did you see that one clip where he just goes mad with the jet knives, like killing the Viper on heaven, jumps down, gets another guy, then he dashes on the third guy, gets him as well. I don't know, man. Something was just absolutely insane that series on Pearl.
Yeah. I think the 6-man thing could be good for Paper X. We'll have to see how they keep going.
Yeah,
But I think they'll make playoffs regardless.
I think yes. I especially considering that they're like 2-1 in the league, right? Yeah, they're
Yeah.
2-1 in the league. They have also like plus 24 in round differentials. Like that's actually pretty damn good, the second best in the entire league. And they have faced some good opponents already, didn't they? They played Team Secret,
did.
Detonation, now T1. So yeah, I mean I'm pretty sure they're gonna make playoffs.
Yeah. And another team, the final team in Pacific, well, the two final teams, the other one that looks like they are kind of a lock for playoffs at this point is Gen G, who played
yeah.
Team Secret this morning. Well, this morning for me anyway.
Yeah.
And they looked good. Fairly
Yeah.
convincing win over a Team Secret squad that
Gen G qualify for Masters Tokyo and win Masters Tokyo. I
win
said,
Masters Tokyo.
yes,
I'm not going to go that far, but I did predict them
or
to
Masters
get
Chiba.
to get there.
To be fair, I'm not sure if that's gonna happen.
Meteor
but they
will
look-
be in his zone.
But what I think is so good about this team is they are not relying on Meteor dropping 20, 25, 30
Yes.
every game.
Mhm.
They are just playing good Valorant. Meteor is doing his role well. King is insane. King is
Yes.
so good.
Oh,
And there's players like GodDead and Sylvan who are stepping up when they're needed as well. This Fracture map was a King masterclass, by the way. And GodDead's playing really
was.
well as well. So
man,
yeah.
Genji's Fracture is so good. Like it looked good against Loud. It looks good now. I don't know. I love Genji's Fracture. They just play it so good.
I'm a big Gen G fan. I've been supporting them since their first match. I'm still supporting them now, which is a good thing,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, they look great. I don't know about the 6-man thing. I feel like you could just have Sylvan and GodDead play all the time. But I think Eco's fine as well. He does his utility well. He does his job well as initiator. But yeah, I'm really liking this team so far, and I think they're pretty much guaranteed to make it to playoffs at this point.
Yeah, at this point, who they play? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think they're pretty much locked right now because I mean they need one more win or something, and they're gonna get a win here or there.
Yeah, especially if Talon play quadruple duelist against them.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, that's kind of Pacific League in general. Do we
Very
think?
Pacific.
Okay, question before we move on to Americas. Do you think any of the 0-3 teams will make it to the playoffs?
So it's between Global, Detonation, and Talon. Detonation won't, after what Suggest said about Anthem. I doubt it. Talon has the
I can
talent.
see a
but-
miracle run from Zeta because we've seen it.
No, Zeta is
before.
not 0-3. Zeta is 2-1. They're actually in the
Oh
playoffs.
yeah, they
right?
actually won. Oh,
It's
fuck,
only
that's
between
right.
Global, Detonation, and Talon. The thing is, I would
okay.
say Global has the quality to do it, but the issue is that their schedule, like the next upcoming matches, are very tough, and they still need like 4 wins. So, I mean, honestly, at this point, it's gonna be unlikely, but I'm gonna go with Global because Talon is just cooking way too much. Detonation is just doomed from internal issues, and global esports, they do the right thing, right? They're looking good, but they just need the dubs.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm going with
think
global.
if Global can beat Talon, I think they can do it because then they can beat RRQ and DFM, I think. And then that last match against Team Secret, if that's to qualify them into playoffs, that'd be a great game.
Yeah.
So I think they could do it, but we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm believing in GE. Let's move on.
GE fighting.
Hell yeah.
The Americas League is our final league here. 100 Thieves versus EG is going on right now, so we can't necessarily talk about that too much. So let's start with, and there's only been 2 games played in this league when we're talking about it. So
should we talk
first
about
of all,
toilet bowl first, or
Toilet boil. Which of those?
MIBR versus Crew, I think he's
Oh
talking
my
about.
god. Yeah, I have actually something to say about that, but you can go ahead.
oh my god,
Oh my god. Wow.
What were you gonna say, Bangovich?
I saw Kazan on Ascent and I was losing my mind. This guy is dry peeking every fucking thing, man. I had to turn off after the first half, and then I turned it back on after I took a shower, and they won the map somehow. Even though Kaznit is just dry peeking everything. What was his first death rate? Just 7? It felt like 20. Bro, I don't know. Just Heat got the openings every damn round, and Kazan just kept on dry peeking it. Man, I hated his Ascent performance. He was actually the worst player on Ascent, so it's actually not even like exaggerating. But somehow they won, and somehow Crew won the. Like, did they won? No, MIBR won the series.
lost.
Yeah.
Just
and
this
Holy
match was. I was watching it and it just kept going on. I just wanted it to end. I just wanted it to end so I could sleep. It was 2 a.m.
Dash
and I was watching it go to overtime on Pearl, and I was just like, yeah, it was just wasn't good Valorant, at all really.
I mean, legit, just put clown music on it, and you got yourself an entertaining match.
But the problem is, it wasn't bad enough to be funny. Like
Yeah,
K-Corp,
yeah.
it was just boring. It was just bad.
It was kind of funny, to be honest.
It was more painful than funny,
Especially-
man.
Yeah,
Especially watching Heat absolutely make some crazy blunders. I don't know what happened with Heat. I want the old Heat back, please.
I think he was just playing against worse competition, to be honest.
Potentially.
Where he could get away with stuff. I feel like
Mm.
MIBR have gone down in people's estimations after playing Loud close, which we'll talk about Loud in a second. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think, oh,
Ramos.
they could be really good, but I don't know. They're 1-1 now. I don't think they'll get many more wins than this with this performance, at least. They're still playing like this. Mura's actually played a very good game, but they're just relying on fundamentals or individual performances. Sorry,
Mhm.
which is not sustainable in a league format like this. So,
Yeah, I'm
I
not
agree.
very convinced about MIBR, mostly with FRZ. FRZ just does not look like he is ready for tier 1 right now. Bro's lost in his sauce half of the time.
I don't think he was
And
that bad. I don't think like you can. I don't think he was
Crew
bad
is
enough to
just-
single him out and say like
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
no,
not
no,
good
no.
enough or something.
I agree.
But-
No, I just feel like some rounds where he is just like questioning even himself at some points. Like,
But
should
there,
I
I mean, there were some rounds where Melter was just stood on site on Ascent and just got a 3K because they just didn't
Yeah.
look in a corner. Like,
Oh, that match was so like honestly, you know what's bothering me? Like even if like one of those teams would make it to playoffs, which is already a stretch, they will not
Yeah.
make it to Tokyo anyways. Like they are just there for the learning experience in a way, and it makes me sad because I feel like
the mid off?
yeah, it's the mid off. Like it's a bit sad because like there's definitely a big gap between like the top 5 and the bottom 5 of the league. I feel like.
yeah, but then God knows, because at some point
Yeah.
one of them will beat one of the others, and then everything just goes out the window. So,
That's true.
but
That is
yeah, that
true.
is enough about that match. Because I don't ever want to think about it ever again, and I won't. But I mentioned Loud played MIBR close in the first week, and they had another close match against a team maybe not rated so highly this week, and that was Cloud9.
Yeah.
Wait,
This is not going to
Demon
be.
1 is in.
Yeah. Wait. Huh? What do you mean?
Demon 1 is in.
Oh wait, for Evil Geniuses.
Yes.
Instead of
Holy shit.
instead of whom? Like who is playing?
BCJ. In place
Okay.
of BCJ. Oh, it is farming time.
Okay, we will
I
keep
am
you
definitely
updated
watching
on.
it after that.
Yeah.
We'll
By the
keep
way,
you
100
updated
Thieves
on
won
that.
the first map, the map pick of EG Haven.
They did.
Not so much of a surprise, but yeah, C9
Yeah.
versus Loud.
After that, I'll be honest. After the first map of the series, I was worried for Loud, a little bit. But they pulled it back because, of course, they did.
Yes.
And Les is the best player in Americas. Just gonna put that out there.
Yeah, absolutely insane performance. And man, I hate to like put good things on C9 on the org just for what they did to Ye, but on the other hand, like Rooney and Jakey, like they deserve it. Like, I mean, it's not about the players. I have nothing against the players. In fact, I like the players on Cloud9, but the org is just, I hate the org for what they did, but I don't know. They look more competitive than EG. They took a map of Loud convincingly, and they didn't even look bad the other maps as well. I think on Ascent there was this one pivotal moment where it kind of fumbled, and then like they kind of got like lost in like the Odin. Like I don't know. Then I think it was an Ascent. Loud bought the Odin afterwards, and then like Cloud9 didn't find the answers. So I feel like if that wouldn't have happened, C9 had a chance in that series. So I'm pretty impressed by what they have achieved with like this little of practice. On the other hand, Loud just shows the composure, like winning a series, even though being with the back against the walls, winning the first map, don't give up, like just proving why they are like champions. Like, I don't know, just a good performance overall. And yeah, I agree. Les, just the best player in America right now.
I think Loud are doing like the Na'Vi thing where they're trying stuff out. They might lose a map or two here, but when they start playing, it's just they'll just win. They on Ascent and on Pearl, they played their regular comps and they pretty much breezed through it. I mean, the 9-3 half on Ascent on attack, which you don't see too often, and then obviously the 8-4 on Pearl on defense. So yeah, I feel like once they start playing properly and they get into the playoffs, it's just going to be easy for them. And they'll probably, I don't know if they'll stop using the Gecko, but at least it will look really good. So I'm not worried about Loud. C9, look promising, like you said. Org, not so good, but the players, yeah,
they're good. Honestly, like also like with Loud, I feel like if they experiment a lot with comps, right? They're not afraid of trying something out, like put a Gecko in or something. And like I feel like they always have like the possibility to just fall back to their fundamentals and the comps which worked, and they can just win anyways, right? But they're still trying things out and they still win, which is pretty impressive. And like honestly, like considering like in the future when we have like in tournaments when they play best of fives, they once again will have like the edge because they have like agent comps, different comps they can rely on. They have a deep map pool. They don't have a weak link on the roster. Like that's just scary.
Yeah,
great team.
And there's Quarantine and Tui is just they're great. They're great. Great players.
Pickup. Yeah.
Yeah. Sadak. I mean, every one of their players is good. Les is amazing. Aspas is great. Sadak's on a great IGO, and Quarantine 2 is brilliant as well. So
By the way, I gotta say, I'm happy that Sadak is not playing the race on Split anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
I like the approach though, but like I'm happy he's like it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. Let's move on. And speaking of it not working and moving on very quickly, let's talk about Sentinels. Because they played NRG.
Sentinels.
They played NRG and lost pretty convincingly. It was 13. Was it 13-10, 13-2, I think?
Yes.
And yeah, that first map, it was kind of heroics by Zekken that even gave them a chance. And Icebox, they were just outclassed by NRG. Why do we think that is? Do we think it's more of a reflection on 100 Thieves from their last series, or do you think this is just Sentinels had an off day, or what do you think happened here against NRG?
Kind of felt like both.
Yeah.
It just seems like a bunch of mixed things happening, and like I'm pretty sure that match that they like some of the more weaker maps for themselves.
Sentinels.
Yeah, Sentinels.
Yeah, I think they did kind of troll that map veto a little bit, trying to pick the Lotus after seeing NRG lose on it pretty harshly to Leviathan. But I think it was just more that Leviathan were just great, to be honest.
Leviathan is just too good.
That is true. I honestly have some issues with Tens being only on the Jet right now. I think you can run him definitely on Icebox. On Lotus, I'm honestly not the biggest fan on Jet, even though Victor played the Jet, which is also like a big surprise to me. Like Ardis is now Sentinel player, and Victor is like back on the secondary duelist kind of thing, which is good because he always looked good on it. But seeing him on the Jet was surprising to me. But I'm not the biggest fan on Jet on Lotus, which is I don't know. What is Boso something else?
A little bit of an interesting side tangent.
This is not going to be as funny as he's.
We are having some issues here in Polaris regarding the Wi-Fi, and the match between Apex and Vominos. It kind of like there have been issues for a certain player regarding Wi-Fi. So now a player who left Vominos is coming back in. Nil is coming back in because of Wi-Fi issues, thanks to Virgin Media. Thank you.
Okay, so let's get back to it. NRG versus Sentinels. So yeah, Sentinels 10s didn't look that good yesterday. It's difficult because obviously he's going through a lot with the Kaide stuff. And yeah, I don't want to
But I don't think
harshly.
It was a tense issue yesterday. It was like just a team diff. Like I think Zakin did heroics, but it's not like everyone wasn't like really showing up. Like Sasi and Pancada, like rocks on this team, like who are like have the experience. They look shaky as well. Like it was just the entire team. On the other hand, I think like Energy, especially on Icebox, damn, unstoppable.
I think NRG, like it was a matter of NRG were playing really well. Sentinels weren't. That's it. And also the maps. Like I think that's another thing that can contribute to people playing shakily. Is if Sen hadn't practiced Lotus too much during the week, or Icebox especially, they might not feel super good about it. So yeah,
at least we got some good memes out of it.
Yeah, I mean the Lotus look competitive.
You said they were bad on Lotus.
I mean, wait, what? No, but I mean like Sentinels looked competitive on Lotus 13-10, and also like honestly, I think. Actually, just don't. Just go on. Man. It's just done. It's not even.
Bro was going the bow route.
Yeah, no, it's just not even worth talking about it. Just Energy looked too good. I feel like that was just team diff.
I think Sentinels will still do well, and I think they'll still make it into playoffs. But yeah, okay. 100 Thieves versus EG is going on right now, so I can't really talk about that. So let's finally talk about the Giga Banger of Americas, the best game of Valorant I've ever watched. Okay, that's going a bit too far.
That is a bit too far.
Leviathan versus Furia. Oh my god.
Yes.
I watched this series from start to finish. It was a roller coaster, and it was incredible.
It was.
Yeah. Khalil is the king. He's just the GOAT. He is the GOAT. I love this man. Furia, they go up 9-3 on Pearl. Leviathan bring it back to a 13-11. Then Furia go 10-2 up on Icebox and finish at 13-5. And then Ascent, they go down 9-3 and then win, 10 out of the next? Yeah, 10 out of the next 11 rounds to win it 13-10. With some insane moments from both Khalil and Digizine, who look like two of the hottest prospects in Americas right now. Yeah. I love this team. They're my favorite team in Americas currently.
It was just such an enjoyable series, as you just like perfectly summarized it. And Digizine, like I wasn't doubting him, but I wasn't like sold on him or anything because I haven't seen too much of him. And I thought like he had a very good performance at like lock-in. He looked very good against like teams like Fnatic as well. But damn, boy, like he was farming. And also, I want to point out the Pearl comp they played. Like they had triple, they had Breach, Sky, Neon, Harbor, Viper. Like I don't know. Like, it is like I've never seen that comp before, and it worked so good on the attack. Was it the attack? Yeah, the attack side where they just perfectly enabled Digizine on the Neon to get spaces, push the opponents away, and just get those opening frags. Like Leviathan could not find a way to stop those aggressions because it was just so much utility thrown at one space to get the control over it and just deny the opponents to take that space. Just basically the opposite type of playing. Like if you compare it to K Corp, it's the exact opposite. Without shitting on K Corp, it was just perfectly orchestrated utility to take side control with perfect hits. It was so beautiful to watch.
There are close games in Valorant because both teams are mid or bad. This was a close game because both teams were so good. When you watch back Pearl and you're looking at B Long and Khalil is hitting people on the jump peak on the pixel angle. I mean,
the 4K,
what?
right? The 4 was it the 4K?
And that 4K, yeah, the clutch as well.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! There were unspeakable things happening in my room when he did that.
Yeah,
It was just crazy good. Like, just an incredible game from him and the whole of Furia. They deserve to be up 2-0, and I cannot wait for next week's match. Furia versus Loud. So both 2-0 teams up against each other. It's going to be a banger.
I cannot wait. Oh my god.
Yeah, so huge props to Furia and Leviathan. It was close. They look decent. They look good. So I think they can keep going, and I think they'll qualify to playoffs. So yeah.
Before we move on from the Americas League, just like a question towards you guys. Like, there is a possibility. What do you think? No North American team at Tokyo? With Furia, Loud, and Leviathan looking as good as they do?
I'll be honest, I'm all for that.
That would be crazy.
And
the South American teams are so they're so entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. Oh my god.
Bang just hit an insane clip, by the way. Yeah, the Furia, Loud, Leviathan, I've really enjoyed watching all of their games.
Yeah.
I think, look, I don't think there's any way that Crew or MIBR qualified to Tokyo. So it would have to be those three teams. But I'd love to see it, to be honest. But NRG being there, I wouldn't hate it. They're good enough to make it, so I could see it happening.
Yeah, that's a thing also. Like, I think in the standings, before we go into the playoffs, I do think that Lev, Loud, and Furia could be the top three. But then in the playoff brackets, I see like Energy is like, they're good in those elimination games, right? And I see a world where they can just make it to Tokyo because they're just better in the playoff bracket than a team maybe like Furia. I don't know, but we'll see. It would be a nice thing to see, like 3 teams from South America making it to Tokyo, no North American one.
As a fan, I would love to see Sentinels, Loud, and Furia at Tokyo. But I don't think that will happen. We'll have to see.
I would love it too. That would be cool.
Yeah, just the clout of Sentinels. It's undeniable.
Yeah.
Hide from it. Run from it. You will not escape the clout. But yeah, America's League is super fun to watch, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah.
I did not have a lot to say on this because I was on vacation, so I haven't watched them.
Didn't watch the games.
America's matches. I apologize. I'm a very annoying brat here. I cannot say anything.
It's all right.
Anyways,
but you could say something about the next topic, I guess.
Yeah, this is your domain, Mr. Lilbo. Tier 2, yay! And the first thing in Tier 2 that we're going to talk about is DSG's new player, which they have promised to unveil in a stream with them and Tarek versus some streamers. You know, there's a thing going on with there, which won't be revealed. But who
is it?
Could it be?
Who could it be?
Are we allowed to? Are we just hinting?
When is the announcement actually?
I'll have a look. I know Toast tweeted it.
Shouldn't it be today?
Reveal happens April 10th, 3 p.m. PST, which is...
Okay, so we could basically just leak it now. It's going to be yay.
Oh yeah, this is gonna go out after the announcement, isn't
So
it?
yeah,
So
it's gonna be Yay. I don't know.
Let's fucking go!
Yes!
I don't
Yes!
know who's the second player who's joining, but I know they are making more than one change.
Oh,
Or they're
Okay.
keeping the other player. I don't know. We'll see about
Okay.
that.
But
They've been cooking a lot. They even, I believe, they also trialed Exalt a while ago, again, and Stu 2K.
wait. I was about to say, wasn't he dropped?
Yeah, but he was trialed again, and then he was gone again, and then Stu 2K was being trialed, and then Stu 2K was gone. So they've been cooking a lot. They've been cooking a lot. That's for sure.
I mean, they got Yay. I mean, that is fucking fire, honestly.
Yeah,
I love it. Let's go. He's back.
Tier 2,
definitely
like,
a dub. Definitely a dub. DSG is winning it all now.
And
Heard it here first.
the thing about not America's NA challenges
Mhm.
is that as long as a team is in the top 8 of the league, they're in that playoffs bracket at the end. They've all got an equal chance of making it to Ascension if they're in that playoff bracket. They all just start in the bracket, double a limb, the top 2 make it to the Ascension LAN. So,
Hmm.
if DSG perform well in split 2, they're in that bracket. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? If they have Yay, anything can happen, in my opinion.
True.
I mean, Ye could quite literally decide games on his own. So, oh, man,
Yeah.
the most clouded tier 2 region already like got way more cloud. Like the numbers will be through the roof. Like DSG, what a big move. Big thumbs
Yeah.
up.
I love it, to be
Definitely.
honest. I love it.
I'm just ashamed that Yay did not even like consider the offer from Who Cars. Just oh man. Very sad. Very sad.
Oh man, I'm so excited. Wait, when is Pacific the later one? It must be, right? Yeah, it is. So
Yeah.
it'll be in about an hour and a half, the reveal stream. Oh
Hmm.
man, I'm so excited.
Oh,
Oh.
so excited. Yeah,
Gonna be good.
definitely.
I love Yay. If you look at my Twitter, you'll know I love Yay.
Yeah.
It's actually true.
Should we actually, now that we talk about a little bit about tier 2, should we actually like
Yeah.
I'll just give a quick recap.
Oh my god.
Who Cars is back. Who Cars is back.
They are.
And
They are
we
back.
quite literally dominated.
They did. I mean, I love Polaris, so I've watched every match.
Yes, you have,
Yo,
right?
what a
You have,
fraud,
right?
man. I
Yes.
cannot believe you just said that, bro.
Keep talking, Kamen. Keep talking. Maybe you'll get some watch party perms now.
Who Cars, they get the 2-0 in this series. Probably not the favorites coming in, but, new logo, new roster, and they absolutely farm, to be honest.
We're being carried by the international players.
Yeah, Vac and
the
Chihuahua,
funniest
I
part.
mean, they're putting up huge performances on this, like, especially on that first map of Pearl. Vac with the ACS of almost 400, like, that's incredibly high. Yeah, I love to see it from Who Cars, and Radsky as well. I mean, the players, they seem to flow really well with the synergy on this roster. And overall, I think Who Cars, they're top of the standings at the moment in terms of round differential. They look really good coming into Split 2, and yeah, I'm going to watch every match.
Yeah.
What the fuck just happened?
I like this new command.
Who is that guy? He's an AI. It's deepfake. It's a deepfake. I am convinced that shit is a deepfake. This is not real. Bro, what the fuck is happening, man?
The next match will determine how we are perceived. The match between Who Cars and Focus, that's when Command might actually take us seriously.
Yeah, I mean, Focus, they got the 2 over Coalesce in the last match, and they look good as well. But I think Who Cars, with that international strength, they could really, punch through. You get that 1-2 punch of Vac and Chihuahua. If they get that going, I think it could be a good match for Who Cars. Obviously, they've had some internet issues in Polaris, but I will be stepping in and personally contacting Virgin Media to get that sorted out.
That's just wild being butthurt about France having lower viewership as of recently.
And I love EU challenges. I'm just gonna support this league as much as I can.
Definitely.
So
one of
What the
the
fuck?
more, I'll tell you, like, France has started and Job Life has been farming. Job Life is a team that like nobody had that big expectations for, and surprisingly, Solari took a defeat today against Zeren. And like Solari looked really good, but Zeren's coming in with a dub. Wild, they look wild, to be honest, and Valiant actually look like they could maybe take the spot from SPG for Ascension.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about France is that like BO1s, so it's
Yeah.
really difficult to actually
Yeah.
know, if a team is just good on a map or bad on a map or etc. Obviously SPG, the favorites coming into the split considering they got that top one, but Solari looked good as well. We'll have to see how it keeps going, but at this point, I mean, pretty much anyone has a chance other than Benelux, of course. No, I'm just kidding.
True.
But yeah, Valiant, they're looking good. They beat SPG convincingly as well. But with best of ones, yeah, we're gonna have to see how it kind of pans out over the rest of the season.
Yep.
And I will be watching
Mouse
every
is
game.
also
So
farming again in group stages, and they're gonna lose again in playoffs. It's gonna happen every single time. They just can't. They just can't win. It's as simple as that. That's just the mouse curse at this point.
the mouse.
Can't fix
Yeah,
that.
I swear.
It's
It's just
seriously,
part of
it's-
it's part of their like how you say it, part of their identity at this point.
Exactly. So yeah, that was tier 2. Also FGC. We can talk about China.
China.
We
The
have to say it that
fighting
way,
game
but-
community.
So Totoro Gaming, Fun Plus Phoenix, EDG, Attacking Souls, Cone, and Dragon Ranger are the teams who are going through to the playoffs for Act 1. And
So is this
Act 1,
whoever gets top 2 here gets to Tokyo?
No, it's Act 2 that gives a spot for Tokyo.
Right. So this doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
I believe it's just a direct invite into Act 2. The other teams, they have to play the qualifier again.
Okay.
But now that I look at it via VLR, it seems like everybody just gets the slot. So I don't know.
What?
So it's kind of
That's
just
confusing.
I'll
seeding
ask my
games.
Chinese sources about it, but yeah.
My Chinese
Totoro,
sources.
I have a lot of Chinese sources. That's for sure.
He's got soy sauce.
Totoro
Like,
Gaming
that's terrible.
look pretty good. They could definitely make an upset. But they're up against FPX, so that will be difficult.
I think the thing is, right, is
EDG,
like EDG is
Attacking Soul.
EDG is so much better than everybody else that like if they lose, that will be the only real shock.
Yeah.
Attacking Soul, ASE, they look good
Yeah, I
as
agree.
well. Life back on that team is nice to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, it will be like Edward
Yeah.
are
I'm
expected
kind of
to win
sad
this.
that Weibo Gaming did not get through to playoffs, but they are still a lock for Act 2, so should be good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think China's it's just improving.
Yeah.
And with EDG like kind of pushing that forward momentum at the top of the standings there, it's only good for that region. So yeah, it's promising. It's promising. And I'm excited to see who does make it to Tokyo.
Yeah, I'm still laughing at the fact that the smaller orgs have gone through the FGC qualifier. Meanwhile, all the big organizations, they did not get through. I believe it's only Billy Gaming who actually qualified through. Weibo, yeah, but that's about it. The other teams, they are very small organizations, except Fun Plus Phoenix and EDG. But yeah, you get the point.
Yeah, it's good to see Chinese Valorant going well.
Very pog.
Okay, I think all the other leagues are doing their things, but I don't think anything crazy's happened in those.
No, Ascend lost 2 times, but yeah.
They did. I saw that. Because I've been watching all of the EU challenges games.
Exactly. You have been watching all the challenges games, haven't you?
Yeah, I love EU challenges.
man.
But again, I mean, it's best of ones. There's so many 2-2 teams in the East League, so it could really go any way.
Yeah.
But Diamant do look good. I know you've talked about them before. Bo and Runner again continues to play well, so good young prospect in that league. Yeah, it's looking good. So yeah, we'll have to see how they if they can keep up that form. But why don't we move on to maybe some leeks, some vegetables here.
Eeks?
Head over to
Ooh.
the market.
What's these? Ooh.
What
Wait,
is
okay,
Bo
that's
selling
not-
today?
All right. Welcome to the what do we call this? Wasn't it like the leak market or something?
It was.
Yeah, it was the leak market. All right, correct. I only have one leak right now that I can actually talk about, and that is that FaZe Clan is looking at acquiring Tig. Which basically
Okay.
does explain why the Turtle Troop roster has been like, we are maybe making changes here and there. And like the fun thing about FaZe is basically you never know if it's actually gonna happen or not. It's
That's
just
FaZe.
like, oh man, the deals with FaZe, they are just tough.
It all depends on their stock price at any given moment.
Oh yeah, definitely. But
Not
yeah,
wrong.
as far as I know, they have been very interested in Tig, and he has been practicing with them. So it's that's definitely a pickup.
Who
I
was
don't know.
their IGL before? I'm trying to think.
Rossi.
Poised. Oh,
Oh, it was Rossi, I believe. He came in as an IGL.
I thought it was Poised, but I might be wrong about that.
Could be both. I don't know.
I know
I-
they're set to drop Rossi, aren't they? So I
yeah,
don't know. We'll have to
Rossi's the
see.
one who is likely off the team.
Yeah.
As per George's report. And yeah, Tig is currently the most likely candidate to replace him.
Right. Well, I'm sure that'll be an interesting development
Yeah,
in the FaZe roster, and we'll see if they can kind of get back to that form that they were missing in Americas. And like I said,
I miss
if
the good baby bay.
if they can get back to it, then if they're in that last 8 bracket, that final playoff bracket, then
Wait,
anything can happen.
Bankovic, try to go on like VLR and look up FaZe
Yeah.
Clan's most recent game against G2 and look at Baby Pay.
Will I lose
Oh,
my mind?
Oh, the rating system is so scuffed, bro.
Man, this is actually so scuffed. What?
although I
0.79%.
you know what I think it was?
What?
The amount of times that this man saved an operator is absolutely ridiculous. So I think quite a lot of his kills
James
were like in that first map, he went 27-28 and he got a 0.84 rating because he was saving the op so much that he got so many of those kills like at the end of rounds where like
But
he's the only person
bro
alive.
also had like the most deaths in the entire game.
Yeah, and it doesn't
Yeah.
weight those kills as highly, so I think I might be something to do with that, but yeah.
But
I think
still, the rating system feels a bit odd at points.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
It's certainly a bro moment to say the least.
It'll be
But yeah,
an interesting move for
that'd
FaZe,
be
I think.
a good
Yeah.
pickup. And of course, that also means that Turtle Troop are gonna make changes. I'm not expecting Turtle Troop to be any good, because of all the stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah.
They lost their contract with XQC. It is what it is. It's kind of like you see it on one side, like, okay, it's very unfortunate that Turtle Troop lost the contract and all of that, but you also got to remember, like, he had expectations for them.
It's tough because the thing was that wasn't it that there was something in his
It was a
divorce things
miscommunication.
where
No,
he
it
couldn't pay enough salary or something.
Yeah.
He couldn't pay a certain amount out of an account or whatever it was. But I know it was an unfortunate situation. It wasn't malicious or anything like that.
Yeah.
So there's not really any blame or anything like that to put on anybody, but just unfortunate. So yeah, but hopefully they can work something out with
Definitely.
that roster.
I mean,
yeah.
and there aren't really any other big roster changes. Oh, we can actually talk about like Sand and Bezen joining 00 Nation now that I think about it. Because those are
Yeah.
two big pickups for 00 Nation, and they already proved that by winning against TBK by actual like dominant fashion. Like a 13-5 and a 13-9 on their first match with these two new players who are replacing Prince and I believe it's Adverso. Yeah, it should be Adverso that
Right.
they are replacing.
We
So
know how good Jandy is.
yeah,
from his time on
That's
Furia last
great,
year.
Yeah,
So
I'm just gonna open up the stats here. Boom.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
got
like
it.
it's very unfortunate to see like Adverso fall that much from Grace, because like he
Mhm.
was really good for a long while. Like his time
Yeah.
on Leviathan was really good.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
really to see him fall from Grace there.
Mm.
And I definitely think that I don't think that Brazil has points for split one, so I can actually see 0-0 Nation actually qualifying for Ascension with this team, because
Yeah.
I even heard in Scrimbucks that they are like absolutely forming.
That's nice to see, and like actually interesting
Seeing
the
the
role
change,
switch, right?
yeah.
Is he's playing
Because I was
Gecko
having like
Sova.
full on fucking meltdown about 0-0 Nation at the
Yeah,
start
several
of
times. Yeah, in
telling
this podcast actually.
several
Yeah,
times.
very lots of times, like lots and lots of times.
Yeah.
You were
Yes.
losing your mind.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I mean, I love all Challengers League, so
Not
I didn't
biased
mind.
at all.
Mm.
Oh.
But yeah,
So,
it's
yeah.
good to
Great.
see them go from losing to TBK to 1-2 and then beating them 2-0 convincingly.
Yeah.
Good upwards trajectory, it seems like. So yeah,
Very good, very nice. So yeah, I
Alright.
think that's about it.
I think that's everything for today. We are
Yeah.
going to go and watch the Yay reveal stream. Well, at least I'm going to when it comes
I'm
on
going to watch
in a bit. So
Polaris.
Oh my god, you're not serious.
Yay.
Nilla is on Jets. I repeat, Nilla is on fucking Jets.
Man, now you sold me. I'm
Um,
gonna pull up the stream.
You know what? I'm gonna watch
That's
Polaris as well.
totally not 1-8 right now.
And on that bombshell,
Yes.
thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Once
Oh yeah,
again,
big news. We got a
Oh.
sponsor for Polaris. That's actually good news.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
It's actually
okay,
good.
Yeah.
go for it.
I love Polaris, so
Yeah, I love
Pringles
Polaris.
crunch moment, Pringles crunch moment. Thank you very much for watching this episode of the Rendezvous Podcast. We just simply have to go and watch Polaris now.
Yeah.
So
Very
yeah,
good, very nice.
we have to go. So goodbye everyone.
Bye
Thank you for
everyone.
watching,
Bye bye.
and we will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.